Here we are.
Okay.
Hello, good morning to Brevard Insurance Agency's weekly live show, where we highlight business and community partners who make our region a wonderful place. I'm Kate, and I am here with Kelley Toms of Lotus Path. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, we're very excited to have you. So Kelley, tell us a little bit about yourself, your business. What do you like to do? Anything?
Anything. All right. Well, let's see. Lotus Path Health and Wellness was established in 2008 after Brad and I moved from Tampa to Brevard, and it's been a unique and growing business in our community, and it currently houses many different businesses under the umbrella of this one roof that we're standing in, or that we're sitting in front of. And the part that I bring to Lotus Path Health and Wellness is Chinese. I'm trained in traditional Chinese medicine, and before I went to Chinese medicine school, I was also an occupational therapist, and I specialized in pediatrics and children on the spectrum. And so when I moved here, I really wanted to offer, I realized that no one in the area was offering acupuncture services and herbals to specifically to children. And so that is sort of what geared me up to move to Brevard. And besides loving the area,
Right.
and Brad and I wanting to raise children somewhere besides Tampa. And so we got here, and it's been just a wonderful adventure so far, bringing Chinese medicine, my background in occupational therapy, sometimes comes through, but for the most part, at this point, I spend my days treating children and adults, seniors, with acupuncture, Chinese medicine principles such as like herbals and moxa, cupping, and I have a few other specialties, specialized services that I do, which one is called Neurological Integration System, and that system looks at the brain's wiring and circuitry as it relates to health issues. And the doctor who originated that comes from New Zealand, so my training was overseas, and it's very unique to bring that to the state. Actually, there's very few practitioners, and that's just something I incorporate into the practice, as well as something called holographic health, and that involves also basically everything I'm doing is sort of a mixture, a toolbox, a kit of looking at health issues, and homeostasis or homeostatic balance within the body, and doing what I can to help people find that in their healing journey.
It sounds pretty complex. How did you end up going from occupational therapy to Chinese medicine? Are they pretty interconnected, or you said sometimes your occupational therapy background comes through, but not usually? Or?
Yeah, no, they're actually not. They're actually very different. And I was doing, like I said, pediatric occupational therapy, and I had started, I worked in a sensory integration clinic, and I had also received training in craniosacral therapy and lymphatic drainage and a few other heart-centered dialoguing, these other modalities that really were questionable to be falling in my scope of practice as an occupational therapy, because under the Department of Health we have these certain criteria that we have to follow and meet. And so it became obvious to me that I wanted to do more, for these kids and for the families I was working with, to be able to talk about dietary changes or, nutritional things or supplements, and to be able to do this craniosacral therapy. And so that led me to either going back to either look toward med school or Chinese medicine, where I could broaden my scope of practice and bring, all of the things that I was learning and was hoping to learn into the practice. And so that's how it evolved.
Well, that is pretty awesome. So you moved to Brevard, and did you open Lotus Path right away, or like how did Lotus Path come into existence?
I did. I started small on Water Oak Suites downtown, and in a gracious 300 square foot building that Scott Kirschinger offered me. I mean, a room, sorry, in
Right.
his building in Water Oak Suites. And quickly grew out of that within a few months, and then had many different locations as I kept growing. I was on Oakdale, and then I was on Broad Street, and then 3.5 years ago had the opportunity to actually buy this building and set up practice here. And this building happened to have a lot of space, which afforded me the opportunity to bring in other practitioners.
Right.
Yes.
Awesome. And you guys offer quite a few services. It seems like maybe there's even something for everyone, from a facial to acupuncture.
Yes, you have done your homework. You've been reading up on the website.
I did look at the website.
I love it. Yes, because it is so unique. We have, so there is the Lotus Path Health and Wellness website, and under there's many practices that have their own, social media and their own web pages, but you can link through to all of those. And currently we have facials to chiropractic so we have Blissful Radiance, which is owned by Tracy Gore, and she is doing energy work such as like craniosacral Reiki, organic facials. And she also, ironically, specializes in Feldenkrais method and kettlebells, which is something that probably many people will want to Google because they're not familiar with some of those things.
What would you say to someone that perhaps was not very familiar with those terms?
I would say,
you could break it down.
Well, I would say call Tracy to talk about Feldenkrais, but it is a movement-centered, integrative approach to harmonizing, your body and your breath, and the way that your body moves through space and with grace and ease, or pain and suffering. And it's just fabulous. I'm totally not doing it justice, Tracy, I'm sorry. But she does have information on the website that does link you to other things that would give you more. And kettlebells is sort of an interesting, more people are probably familiar with that, with a workout, right? Type of thing. But yes, and then craniosacral therapy is also a very gentle approach to looking at the nervous system and the sort of over response of the fight or flight stress response that many people are in, and looking at a very gentle, non-invasive way to just work with the body to sort of help ease that load and bring them back into what we refer to as a parasympathetic response, which is rest, digest, heal, and regenerate. And then her organic facials and are organic in the sense that they involve many different products that have an organic label rather than toxic chemicals, because we're always trying to educate around Lotus Path just how important it is to try and minimize toxins in our world, and our life. And then we have Shine Chiropractic, which is Dr. Cameron and Dr. Natalia. And they have a practice here at Lotus Path, and then also an office in Asheville. And so they're here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Brevard location. And they also have a link on our website and have their own website to talk about their very specialized and unique way of working with the patients that they see. And it's beautiful. And then we have Tika Velez, who owns a company called Living Design Consultants. And I can't even begin to sort of describe all of the different tools that she uses, but you can find that on the website. And I have, let's see, we also have Charles and Teresa Pletzel, who are new to the Brevard area and new to Lotus Path as in this month, working out of here. And they are also trained in Chinese medicine and are traditional acupuncturists, and they specialize in allergies.
Oh, interesting.
Which lots of people have.
Yeah, it seems like a good place to specialize in allergies.
Exactly, especially this time of year.
Right, yeah, perfect.
Sitting out here outside. So they have a specialized allergy treatment protocol that they use in looking at how the body can be responding in a histamine way or an allergic sensitive way to the world or foods or toxins, things of that nature. And then let's see. Is that everyone? Oh, no. And then very new, starting in June, we have Surya Medicine, which is Dr. Allison Militich, and she is an MD who will be also starting in here, bringing her specialized functional medicine training to the community.
Cool. That's a lot. A lot of people, a lot of services, pretty much everything. So if you missed whatever Kelley said that sparked your interest, you can just go to the website, which is just Lotus Path, which is linked in the comments. Speaking of comments, if you have any questions that have come up while Kelley's been talking, feel free to drop them in the comments, and we can answer them as we go.
Great.
But
yeah, sorry, that was a mouthful. But
yeah, no, it's
when
okay.
I say it's awesome that we have this space, and that, you know, to have so many different businesses, you know, working to help our community with health and wellness challenges, it's super exciting.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And I have to also give kudos out to my amazing office manager, Hunter Futch, who keeps us in order and timely, and helps us with a gracious smile in the front desk for all of these things that are happening in our space.
Way to go, Hunter. We all need a Hunter Futch in our lives, I believe.
We do. We do.
Yeah. Anyway, so now, as a special treat, I believe Kelley is going to give us a demo, correct?
I have an issue. And I think acupuncture can fix it.
It just, are we talking?
You didn't come up with an issue.
I don't know if I'm allowed those HIPAA things. I don't think I should say it on camera. Give everybody my health information.
Brad, are you sure it's just one issue? I mean, we have been married for almost 25 years. I mean, 22 years.
Wow.
Been together 25 years.
Wow, it's so good. It seems like it. Such a breeze. I'm so easy to be around.
I'm not sure. That one issue in this acupuncture session will cover the grounds for what you need, but we can give it a try.
All right, I'm gonna go have a seat.
All right.
Do you want me to describe anything about specifics of acupuncture, or just do a little demo?
You can do it while you could, or would you?
It's probably easier if I just give you a brief sort of like, you know, sampling.
All right. Yes. Give us a brief overview of acupuncture before we address one issue.
So I can focus and not poke him in the eye or something with a needle. Anyway, oh boy. So the needles, for those that might be watching that have never experienced acupuncture, one amazing thing is that, you know, that we like to clarify is that we use single-use needles. So they're all prepackaged like this, and they're sterile when they come, and then they go into a sharps container when we're done. The unique thing about, and I'll have one that I can do this with.
Are there non-single-use acupuncture
Used to be,
needles?
but with the rise in the 1990s and early 2000s of hepatitis and AIDS-related, you know, blood-borne things, they used to autoclave the needles and reuse them. But that has I only have single-use needles since I have been in practice, and yeah, really since the 2000s. I mean, in China they may still be doing that, but not in America. So I always like to show people a little show and tell. I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but they're so fine that they can bend. So, you know, people are like, oh my gosh, needles. You know, like, I don't think I can do this, even if it would help me. But when I tell people they're like a strand of a piece of coarse, thick hair, they are all different sizes, but they are all small. And so when people ask me, will you feel it? I always tell them, I'm not going to lie and say you wouldn't feel it, because if a mosquito or an ant bites your skin, right? I mean, you feel it. The difference is that you only feel it hit your skin, or if you put your nail on your skin, you're going to be aware that something's poking you, or a pin, you know, that you write with. But once the needles are placed, and it's such a hot second because they're so small, and hopefully the person you're seeing is very trained, and so they really should be painless, you know, but I never tell people, oh, you're not going to feel anything, because if anything pierces your skin, you are going to feel it. But it is not like getting an ear piercing or getting a shot or getting blood drawn, because like actually the smallest butterfly needle that they use in medicine, we can stick 8 of these inside of the tip of that. So that is how thin these are relative to people who are like, I'm never trying this, like needles is not my thing. And so I have a lot of people that come in and they say, I'm just going to lay down, I don't want to see them, but I love it, just put them in, you know. And luckily for Kate, you don't have to be needled. Brad signed himself up for this demo.
Yes, that is fortunate for me.
So yes, and I think that's, you know, just something I like to point out because people can be concerned, you know, with that. So single use, they get disposed of in the sharps container after. And a typical session for just acupuncture would last, you know, anywhere between, you know, about 35 to 40 minutes and an hour. Some people love to just really get into the zone and stay, and I give them a whole, you know, I book on an hour. And other folks are like, they know that they're going to get their results and be done in 30 or, you know, 40 minutes. So, but it needs to at least be 35 minutes to actually, you know, receive the benefit.
So, do you have to have an issue like Brad to benefit from acupuncture?
I hope you don't have Brad's issues. But you do not.
Okay, so
in
acupuncture
fact,
can be for...
It can be for anything. I treat, you know, people come in with everything from anxiety, depression, to just wanting to boost their well-being. They don't even have an issue or a complaint, but they love acupuncture and they know that it brings this parasympathetic, this rest, digest, regeneration, healing response, and so they want to come.
Cool. Okay.
But I treat then some really serious things, you know, that are, you know, people are also seeing medical doctors for, like maybe they have, you know, slip discs, or they have, you know, back pain that never ends, or they've recently had a surgery and they're having trouble after the surgery, you know, healing, you know, like a post-hip or a post-knee. And then we have things from migraines and digestive disorders to, I don't even know, like stomach aches. And traditionally in the past it's changed a bit since COVID, but we even would see people for colds and flus because it's very effective, the herbal plus the acupuncture medicine. Cool. Yes.
All right. Okay, you can get back to your explaining. I'll stop asking questions about acupuncture.
No, it's great. It's great. And if you think of anything else, I'll go ahead and I'm going to dispose of this needle since I've touched it and everything, but I have some others saved for Brad.
He looks super concerned.
He's chilling.
Hey, Brad.
What's up, folks? Thanks for joining us today, guys, on this live with BIA here at Lotus Path. Just a disclaimer: if you come to Lotus Path and get some acupuncture, you will likely not be sitting out in the sun like this. We are doing this because there are some practitioners working today, and we don't want to disturb them. So we're outside, and Kelley's going to help me handle my one issue that I may or may not have.
So this is simply just some rubbing alcohol that we sort of sterilize the points, just in case he came in dirty this morning. And we're going to keep it super simple.
Took a shower.
And just do 4 points for Brad today. For his many issues.
One issue. Highly recommend.
Do we address that you guys are husband and wife?
I would say I would highly recommend that you go on camera with your wife and talk about your issues. It's really a relationship building situation.
It's enjoyable for us, I think.
Brad has been needled before,
needle.
and he has experienced Kelley as a student of acupuncture, and Kelley, you know, however many, 15 years later.
Yeah.
So that is about what it looks like, and super fast, super easy, and again, like I said, they're super flexible, and so I won't bend it around too much because, I mean, we don't want to actually create any pain, but you know, they're super thin, and I would say pretty painless, right?
Yeah, that was it's less than a mosquito or ant bite.
Yes, because it only is like a second,
Yeah.
right? Let me walk over here. All right.
Didn't even feel that one.
You're so confident. I love it. He is confident in his wife's ability to stick needles in him. All right, so we're just gonna put 4 in this morning. This would be a very basic, like, starter. Somebody like Kate who's, going, I don't know if I want to try this. We just keep it super simple, but believe it or not, these 4 points, acupuncture is done on specific points on what's called meridians that influence. They're all named, so we have 12 primary meridians that are named for 12 primary organs. So we have like the liver meridian and the spleen meridian and the kidney meridian and the heart and the lung. And so the points that are laid out on the body, I say, sort of look like railroad system, right? It's like there's, Grand Central Station where more things happen. And those points would be, sort of more power points that we can get a lot done with 1 point. That happens to be the ones I'm using, or not the ones, but some of the ones that would fall in that category.
I got a lot of good things happening. That's what you're saying.
Yes, he does. And then there's, other specific points that we might use if there was like a lung imbalance, if I was treating someone with asthma, or if they had kidney issues or digestive, complaints. So that's kind of, we don't just stick these in randomly. They are, there are hundreds and hundreds of points on the body, and all used for different things. And that's our schooling, is learning point combinations and learning how to use these points effectively and use the least amount of needles to create a reaction, a healthy reaction for the body. Hopefully Brad's reaction will be okay.
Feel great. Should I feel like I'm floating? Is that?
Another interesting component that we thought we'd share today is moxa.
Kate, you might want to grab the microphone so none of the smoke goes in the microphone.
That's a good point. Grab the mic off Brad.
Oh, you know what? I might have made these too heavy.
Yeah, I'm not moving my hands.
Sorry, honey. So with moxa, we this is like a specialized component of Chinese medicine. It's actually an herbal called moxa, and we roll it in a special way, and then we can place it actually on these needles, and then we actually light it to burn to bring an effect to that point of heat or warming if we're looking to do that. And so we normally I would have an incense stick to light it with, but I couldn't find one today, so let's see if I can. Uh-oh, maybe it's too windy. Oh, sorry. You may not get to see the effect of, oh, maybe. Oh, there we go. So we get the moxa burn with the smoke, and it's bringing the warming element to the point and creating hopefully a desired response.
I'm on fire.
You're welcome, Brad. You were on fire.
Wow. Wow. Oh boy.
Oh my God.
I have never experienced this in an acupuncture session. This is not typical of an acupuncture moxa session. This would be a Brevard Insurance specialty.
Thank you, Kate.
You're welcome.
Oh, that was...
Okay, well, we'll go ahead and take these out because I think this session is probably come to a close. Okay.
Excellent.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for joining us today. We got a few things in the community corner. You can see that fire extinguisher safety is important, and you should always know how to use one. So thank you, Kate, for demonstrating that safety first. A lot of things going on this weekend, guys. We got Memorial Day weekend right around the corner. So there's a parade downtown. The American Legion Post 88 is hosting that parade from 9 to 11. So come down for that. The White Squirrel Fest is next weekend. So check out Heart of Brevard's site to get in there and learn about all the details for next weekend. There's going to be music, there's going to be vendors, there's going to be a lot of stuff. So check out White Squirrel. Bold Rock and Mills River, they're having Lemonade Fest this Saturday. So if you're in Mills River area, don't miss that. And there's going to be lots of live music in Cedar Mountain, from Cedar Mountain to downtown Brevard to the Lumberyard, out to Etowah, and of course Mills River. So check out your favorite places. A lot of stuff going on this weekend. And certainly we wouldn't want to talk about Memorial Day weekend without saying we want to thank all of our service members that have died in the line of duty. That's what Memorial Day weekend is all about. So thank you, thank you to your families for defending our nation and serving. And we hope everyone enjoys their celebrations this weekend. So like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram. We hope you had fun today watching. Thanks, Miss Kelley Thomas, for being here today. It is always a pleasure. And thank you guys. We will see you next week.